that's what you go for? You're going to sing and go for the hardest.
I like a challenge.
Holly Ann. Spring has sprung.
It's springing.
It is springing out
Well,
there.
it's springing today. There was snow yesterday.
I think there's not going to be any more snow, at least in Tulsa.
No snow. Speaking of spring and sunshine and goodness, Micah and I went to California recently, where it was a beautiful 75 every day, sunny, the beach, the mountains. What's not to love? So
High gas prices.
Well, there's that.
Taxes.
Stop it. In a dreamer's mind, what's not to love? So we're coming back home. We had Everly with us, so we flew with her. It was great. Thank God for Toy Story. We get home, and my brother-in-law brought our car to the airport so that we wouldn't have to, pay those parking prices for the whole week that we were gone. And I may have forgot to clean out my car before we left for town. And this was primarily because when we were leaving, he gave us a ride, so we didn't even take our car. So it was like out of sight, out of mind, completely forgot about it. And I had recently went to the grocery store. So there wasn't groceries in the car, but there was like boxes of diapers and wipes, and like our strollers were all in the back, like a lot of stuff, not ideal.
Your whole life.
Our whole life, aside from our whole life we had with us.
Yes.
Traveling with a 1-year-old. And so he thought it would be helpful, and it was helpful. He just dropped off our car, and then he was like, "See you guys." So we are loading up a lot of things into the car. And when I open the door, I'm immediately like, oh crap, I did not clean out the car. So we start to load everything in. I'm trying to get Everly's car seat in, and Micah is red in the face. Okay. He's not happy about what's happening, because the car is so messy and it's so hard to load anything into it. And so we get in the car, and that's it. It's over. Micah loses his cool. And he is so upset. And why do I not keep my car clean? And this is so stressful. This is the kind of thing that he's talking about. We need to keep our cars clean at all times, because all of the sudden, I mean, I've known Micah for like going on like 11 years or something that we've been together in each other's lives. And all of a sudden he's decided that he is the king of a clean car.
I've been in his car.
Yeah. It's not the cleanest.
I saw some receipts at the bottom.
Thank you. All of a sudden, he is the king of clean cars, and I am a lowly peasant who does not know how to keep anything clean, and he is just on one about it. And I'm just sitting there, and I was like, I'm just a mom, and I have to take Everly everywhere, and I get the groceries, and this is my car. You have your car. And all of that to say, Micah took the car immediately when we got home, and he left, and he was cleaning it out, and he just needed some time away. And I said,
It worked out well for you.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
All that to say, once we cooled down a little bit, because there's a lot more heat than I'm letting on in this conversation, I told Micah, I said, you know what? If you feel that strongly about the cars, it's much stronger than I do, because I really, as long as I just get my trash out every now and then, my car is not my place that I'm like, that's my sanctuary. I care more about my house being clean than I do my car being clean. And I know that there's people who go on both sides of this. And I told Micah, I said, if you feel this way, why don't you be the car guy of the family? And why don't you once a month or twice a month take the car, you get a day, and you just take the cars, go clean them out like you like to, vacuum it, run it through the car wash, do whatever you want, and bless us with clean cars.
You promoted him. You said, you know what?
I see something in you.
I see some. Young man,
Kid, you're going to go places.
Gift. Young man, you have got it.
You've got it.
I'm making you the CEO of the Feltz cars.
Of the Feltz cars.
Of maintenance.
And I believe you're going to do great things for us.
You're going to take us to the top.
You're going to take us to the top. It's not a pay increase. and there's no benefits, but it's worth it.
Andrew also is more concerned about car cleanliness. He is like, he cares about house cleanliness too. I get to the point where this happened this week. I'm looking around and I'm just like, this is a trash pit. This car. This is a
dumpster on wheels.
Cups. There's like suckers that I don't know. There's a diaper. There are all of our coats,
Yogurt.
all of our socks, not my socks, but all of my kids' socks.
Oh, so many
all
socks.
of Dot's shoes.
Yeah.
Just snacks, papers, receipts. I find, anything you need, you could probably find in the van. And Andrew yesterday, he's like, I'm going to go take it and go clean it now that this weather's nice. It's not going to snow or rain for a while. I'm like, great.
God bless you.
You go do that because I appreciate a clean car. And I'll throw away my trash, but I won't. I'm not vacuuming floorboards and
the car to
getting in
me
there.
is just what it is. It's just a transportation. It's just getting me where I need to go as quickly as I can get there. We're getting in the car. I'm strapping Everly in. We're off. We're getting out. I'm not spending ample amounts of time just cruising. Okay. Maybe if I went for a Sunday drive, I would appreciate a cleaner car.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm doing. So Micah accepted the position. I don't really know that he has done it since, so I'm probably going to have to check in, do like a progress check-in.
You got to trust but verify.
Yeah. Because, you got a promotion, do something with it. But all that to say, it has been a long time coming of us finding the place of agreement on cleaning things.
So what I found is everyone has their different level. Everyone's home. You've got a different level of where you keep your house. And there's certain things like if this happens, then I feel like the whole house is dirty. For me, it's my floors.
Okay.
If my floors aren't clean, then the whole house is set it on fire.
Yep. Light a match.
Watch it burn. Might as well be roaches everywhere.
Might as well. There's mice.
Everywhere. When I see footprints, we have this dog, Mikey.
You were excited about Mikey.
I was. Guys, let me tell you about Mike.
I told you. You sure?
We were in Mobile, Alabama in August at a show, and there was a vendor there that was from Oklahoma. So I stopped, but she had a Yorkie on the table, and she has her dog. And I walk up, and I'm like, I wanted to say hello. I'm from Tulsa, too. And she's like, oh my gosh. And I'm petting her dog. And I said, I used to have a Maltese. She died a couple years ago. And she goes, would you like another one? And Andrew and I had been talking about getting a dog for Dot. Dot's dog.
Dot's dog.
That it would just be fun to have because she's getting to that age.
Dot's 2. Continue.
She needed a dog.
Clearly.
She needed a puppy, Holly.
Okay.
So she asks me if I want this Maltese. And I'm like, oh, yeah. She's like, it's the best dog. My Yorkie is so mean to this dog. We cannot. They have to be separated. But if I could get rid of my Yorkie, I would. And I would keep this dog because he's just wonderful. And so I call her because I tell Andrew and he's like, oh, I might as well just check it out. So I call her. We're talking about this dog. We are connecting. We're having a great conversation, not about dogs, but just about, it's one of the, you meet in your, yes. And at the end of the conversation, I say, I forgot to ask you what your name is. Would you remind me what your name is? And she goes, it's Sally. So then I go, well, now we have to have this dog because that's a sign. So we go out to visit this dog. Andrew's like, well, just go look. And Andrew goes before, we're not coming home with this dog. Like, we can't bring a dog home today.
We're not ready.
I understand. Well, we're just looking.
No harm, no foul.
So we go in. This dog and Andrew imprint on one another.
All of the lights went out except for the lights on each other. Spotlight.
And Andrew all of a sudden is going, well, I mean, we could just stop by Walmart and get some food on the way. We can just take him home now.
Oh.
Complete. And this dog is really nice.
Yes, he is sweet.
So we bring him home. He's such a good dog. Dot loves him. And it's not like he came from bad owners. He had good owners. But this dog, and I do not overuse this word. This dog is obsessed with Andrew. And I actually mean that. Obsessed with Andrew. He wants to be touching him at all times. Andrew goes to sit down on the couch before his cheeks hit the cushion. Mikey is on his lap, like there.
Oh, man.
He sleeps on our bed, and he's supposed to sleep at the foot of the bed. Well, if I get up to go with George, I come back, and Mikey is like right next to Andrew's face. And
Mikey's trying to get you out of the picture.
It is a third wheel in our marriage, honestly.
You being the third wheel,
I'm
right?
the third wheel, yes. It is Mikey and Andrew. And Andrew he's like, Mike, give me some space. But they have just like clicked. And he will sit, Andrew was out of town last week. Mikey will sit in the front room overlooking the window and just wait for him.
Wow.
To come home. And I tell Andrew, when you're gone, Mikey doesn't interact with the rest of us. He just waits for you to come home.
Mikey doesn't participate in this
Mikey,
family?
No. He loves Andrew. I have never seen a dog love Andrew so much. But anyway, so he's a good dog. He annoys me. I've kind of decided now I'm maybe not a dog person.
Okay.
Children changed me. Mm-hmm. I don't know who needs to hear this.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to say it.
Oh, God.
After you have babies, you are not going to love your dog like you did before.
There's some people, man.
I know now, you hear me and you're going, I love my dog. That's not true. Coming from someone who I had a Maltese named Lola. She was my baby. Mm-hmm. I had videos of her to watch in the hospital when I was birthing my actual child. That's how much I loved her.
Wow.
And then we came home and eventually I had to have her euthanized. I came home and killed her. I'm kidding.
You have got to clarify because
I know
people are going to lose it.
Joke. Lola was 12 when Dot was born. I got her when I was 16. She was 12, and it was so sad. She got to the point she was peeing.
Oh, she was geriatric.
She was geriatric, and we would leave. There was one day. It was a problem for a long time, but it was starting to become a problem because Dot was going to start crawling.
Yeah.
And she had a heart murmur, and it had gotten worse, and she was on medication. So we went. There was one particular day I left and I was not even gone an hour, and I had let her out and she had peed, and I came back and she had peed on the floor. And I just remember in that moment going, I can't keep her like this. Yeah. I can't do this anymore. And she was in such bad health. Like,
she wasn't
Andrew,
really living. She was the Walking Dead.
And Andrew would come home and he's like, look at her. She can't chew her food. She's peeing all over the place. Oh. So I took her to the vet because initially I thought, I'm like, maybe there's something I could do. And I talked to the vet and he's like, you are getting to the point where if you wait too long, it's going to be more painful than if you do this now. And so we had to do it. And in hindsight, it was right before everything shut down.
Oh my gosh.
And it was the best timing. She's in heaven. Maybe. She did some bad stuff. I don't know if she chose the Lord. She was a sexual deviant, we'll just say. She did some stuff. But
oh my God.
The fact remains that when you have a baby, you just don't love your dog the same way that you did.
I agree.
You know?
I do. I remember the night before we went in to have Everly. I went in to birth Everly. Micah was also there. That's how that should have been. That's how I should have said that.
It was a wee thing. It was a marriage thing.
He was there.
He was part of it. He contributed.
He contributed, but I'll just never forget. This is a side note. This is a bonus story. I remember getting all checked into the hospital, getting into my tiny gown with my giant pregnant body and laying on this bed trying to get comfortable. And Mike is saying, this chair is just really not that comfortable. How am I supposed to sit here all day? And I just looked at him and I was like, that'll be the end of you talking today. Thank you. But the night before we went in, we were laying on the couch and we had a dog at the time, and I had her up laying on me and I cried. And Micah said, why are you crying? I was like, it's the last night, just the three of us. And I have pictures of this dog laying on me, sleeping.
Micah didn't like this dog, did he?
If I'm being honest, no, he did not like her. And it was a pain point of our marriage all the years
Lola
that I
was
had
the same
her.
too.
It was a problem. To each their own. Okay, I will say. Because I have friends that their dogs are their lifelines.
Yes.
To each their own. Live your life, live your truth. I am living mine. I did not kill my dog.
I had to put her down.
No, I know.
She was old. I want to clarify.
No.
She lived a long life.
We love animals.
She was old.
She was old, and my dog. I didn't do my research upon purchasing my dog.
You just saw a puppy and fell in love.
I did, yeah. And she was good, but she has a lot of energy, and her breed is like a farm dog. And I was trying to make her a home dog, and that didn't work out. But now she lives with my sister-in-law, and she
she's
has.
thriving.
I just saw her actually a couple days ago, and
She gave you a dirty look and say,
she didn't. She gave me kisses.
You abandoned me.
But she lives with another dog, and they run all day, and she digs up their whole yard, which is great for her, not so much for my sister-in-law. But she's living her best life. All that to say, though, when after fast forward bringing Everly home and having a dog poop in, I have a newborn and I'm trying to sleep, and Micah was back at work, and I would just cry.
Yes.
And it was so stressful, and it was so much, and we don't have a yard. There's so many practical things that it was like, what am I, I can't do this. I have a human to care for. I have to care for myself. And now I got a angry, energetic dog pent up in my house. It's not working, but she just lives a couple streets over. She's living a great life.
And my sister-in-law is about to have a baby, and she has cats, and I have told her before she was pregnant, I was like, you're not going to love your cats as much when you have a baby. And she's like, yes, I will. I'm like, you say that. I said that too. Every person who's ever had a dog before they had a baby or a pet believes I'm going to love my animal the same way, and you just don't, and it's okay. And honestly, if you did, if your dog is still number one in your heart after you have a baby, that might be something we need to talk about. But animals, back to what I was originally saying 15 minutes ago, animals make it hard to keep your house clean.
Oh yeah.
So Mikey will get his stupid little footprints all over my floor, and the light will hit it, and I just see footprints, and I cannot rest. So this morning, I got up. And I put the kids in the playroom. I was like, you guys, you have to stay in here. You are not allowed to leave.
It's going down.
And I just swept and I mopped.
Wow.
I steam cleaned.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, yeah.
You got serious.
I started doing a new thing, revolutionary.
Okay.
It's not, but I started doing it. Instead of just vacuuming, because I don't know if you do this, but I need to clean my floors. I just go straight in with a vacuum. Now I go with a broom first, and then I go in with a vacuum. I sweep up the piles. I actually like seeing all of the crap. When I sweep it up, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was what was on my floor.
Have you always been you're talking some serious cleaning. You steam mopped.
Steam mop.
Like, have you always been this way, or is this a habit you've cultivated?
So when we talk about, everyone has their different levels of clean.
Okay, yes.
So I have my level of clean for my family. Maybe a deeper clean when I know people are coming over.
Right.
A step deeper than that when my mother is coming over.
Yes. Because
my mother is the cleanest human to ever have walked this earth.
Oh, wow.
She is so clean. I don't know how she does it. She know what she does when she's finished with a dish. You know how you just set it on a counter, set it in the sink? She doesn't do that. She puts it straight in the dishwasher.
I'm doing that now, so I'm right on track.
I'm starting to do that. But I remember when I was in school, and I'd go over to friends' houses, and they had like
dishes everywhere.
Piles. They had, little piles of stuff everywhere. Much like I do in my own home. Just like a pile. No piles at my house.
Pile-free home.
Pile-free home. If you've got mail, it would maybe live on the counter for a couple of days. And if you don't grab it and collect it, it's being thrown away. I remember coming home, and we had trash cans lining our garage. I remember coming home from school and finding toys and stuff in my trash can, in the trash cans, school projects. I'm like, Mom, I put, these are my toys. And she would go, you weren't playing with that. And I was like, I played with that yesterday. And I'd have to rescue my stuff. There's a great story of my brothers had not put away, they had like winter clothes in a trash bag in the garage that she had told them to put away. Well, they didn't. And so she did not know it was their winter clothes. She took them all and sold them to a consignment shop. And they had to go, Mom, you sold all of our clothes, and she had to go buy them back. Like, she will just throw things away. If you err on the side of keeping or tossing, she'll just toss it. Mm-hmm. So you have to rescue stuff at that house. So I am accustomed to a very clean home, and I love it. Like, I love going to her house because it's clean. Right. It's sparkling. Better than my house. It's also just her and my dad. Mm-hmm. But I try to bring some of that in. It's harder. I've got 2 people working against me constantly.
Just 2?
Dot and George. Andrew, he's a team player with cleanliness.
Okay. What about, Mikey?
Mikey,
got Mikey in 3. There. I feel like maybe Mikey's trying to take his little dusty paws and spell out a message to you, like, leave now. He just wants Andrew to himself.
If you find me murdered in my bed with bite marks to my throat.
There's a little paw mark by the pillow.
There's a little bloody paw print. It's Mikey.
It was Mikey. I grew up with a mom who was a fanatic for rearranging the room. It was a monthly, if not bi-monthly thing that we would have a rearranging day. I would get assigned an area of the home that was going to be where I completely dusted everything down, and then we would rearrange it. And I can remember being as young as like 4th grade, so probably 10 years old, and rearranging my bedroom and like working really hard to move my queen size bed around and like get my furniture in a new place. And that is something that has carried over to me. I love
a good rearranging.
Oh man, Micah hates it. It drives him nuts to come home and I have moved things around, and he can't always pinpoint what I've moved, but he'll walk in and be like, different. Yes, he's like, what did you do? And I'm like, don't you love it?
Look at how this just changes the whole flow of the room.
It does. It's like it's new again. But I grew up with a mother who always did that for me.
Yeah, my mom did that too. I remember coming home, and she, like, from a friend's house, so I'd been gone all weekend, and I'd go up to my room, and she had cleaned my whole room.
Oh, wow.
And gotten me a new comforter, and she'd put a feather bed on my mattress, on top of my mattress, so my bed was like 2 feet higher than it normally was, and it was just like, everything is so
magic.
Yeah, so yesterday I came home, I went to the gym, I came home, and I think it's because the sunshine is entering Tulsa. Andrew had a trash bag out, and he was going through toys, and he's throwing stuff away, and he says, one of these days when it's nice out, we need to get rid of the kids and just take all of our rugs outside and beat them and just go through and just dust this whole house. And I looked at him and I said, I have never loved you more.
Anytime.
And I love you right now. Let's go to our bed now. I'm kidding.
Anytime that Micah will come to me and he'll be like, tomorrow, deep clean the house. I will do the bathroom and the kitchen, and then this and this, and let's just clean this whole place down. And I just stare at him and I go, you're so hot to me right now.
Men think that women, want flowers or can't. I mean, I appreciate those things. But if you want to know the key to my heart, you pick up that, nothing is sexier than you holding that vacuum. Nothing is better than coming home and you're like, I cleaned the whole house. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. You are kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's funny that these are the things that really excite us, like a clean home, rearranging, beating out the rugs. But it also can be the most difficult thing to do, to make a routine or like a habit out of it. Because I know that we have both recently established a cleaning day in our homes. And it has been really helpful because every Friday, I know I'm cleaning. Things are getting picked up. Things are getting done. But it hasn't always been that way. And I think for so long we would feel the stress of this like cluttered environment. The laundry's piling up. My dishes, I could never be on top of them. Our stove is dirty. I mean, it was just this constant state of disarray, everything. Like, how do we fix this? And it was finally like, I've had enough. I can't do it anymore. I cannot function properly. We are truly at this point our own problem when it's a problem in your own home.
Look at us. We're slobs.
We're slobs. This is us. This is an us problem.
We need to get our crap together.
But it was a road to getting there. So
I went over to a friend's house the other day. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when you go to a friend's home, most of the first few minutes of entering anyone's home is them apologizing for the state of their home.
Yes. Guilty.
I'm really sorry. And again, because everyone has different levels. And on one hand, I go, you're entitled to live however you want.
Absolutely.
If that stuff doesn't bother you, fine. It bothers me. But I kind of feel like we should all have some sort of standard of clean. That's not, I'm not saying crazy, but I'm just like a basic standard. So that when you go to someone's house, we've all agreed this is the standard and you know what to expect. And then that way, if we're all living by the same standard, someone comes over, you're like, I met the guidelines.
I mean, what a dream world that we're all going to come to an agreement on what
Clean
we all
floors,
think is clean.
Wipe down your countertops.
I can't commit to mopping my floors every time you come over.
Well, just like vacuum.
Okay.
Yeah, mopping.
I generally try.
What is the area of the house that you feel like you're like, I don't really have to clean that often?
Baseboards. Something really. That's been something I've been noticing lately. I'm like, there's dust on my baseboards. I need to clean my baseboards.
Yeah.
But I think I'm a tidy upper. Like I need, before I go to sleep.
Yes.
I cannot go to sleep unless I fluff the pillows on the couch and I set myself up for success in the morning. Micah doesn't agree with that, and that's okay. I respect him.
Nighttime Holly's got to make decisions that are going to help morning Holly.
That she do. And she does. And I'm very intentional about that. But for me, like I said, Micah, if it was up to him, doesn't bother him. He would get up, float throughout his day, and be fine with it. But that's not the case here for myself. But for me, it was just, okay, I'm feeling like I can't breathe when I'm at home. Like I feel the laundry is suffocating me. The dishes in the sink are driving me nuts. And so it was like, you know what? Something needs to be done with it. Because again, I am the only problem here. And I don't know why though, it feels so hard to do the things that we need most. You know? Like even like we've talked about, like exercising. It's good for my body to do it. It feels so hard to want to do it. Put my dishes away. That will be great for me. But it feels so hard to do it. And it goes back to like, why does it feel so hard to do the things that are going to be good for me? I
think that it's less about it feeling hard and more about we are accustomed to if something is difficult, then I just don't have to do it. And making it like, oh, well, I just don't want to. So I didn't. And now there are so many other alternatives to if you don't want to do something, you don't have to. You can pick up your phone. Right. You can go do, eat something, do whatever you can avoid. All life lessons go back to Little House on the Prairie.
Of course they do.
I was reading one of the books. Well, all of them talk about this. They have their morning chores, the girls do. They eat breakfast, they wash the dishes, they put them away, they have to sweep the house, and then they can go and play. And we have eliminated any like home responsibility. And I was thinking about this. It's because in Little House on the Prairie at that time, the home is where everyone was working. Pa's in the fields, raising corn and dealing with cattle and all of that. Ma's in the house making all this stuff. The kids are helping with all of that stuff. This is the domain that the kingdom that we're all helping to build and make awesome. And then you have the Industrial Revolution.
Oh, wow. We're going places.
But you have now people's lives don't revolve around the home. People leave to go to work and then they come back. And then, at World War II, now women leave to go to work and then come back. And then after World War II, they're gone. A lot of them, you start to get this pendulum where now there's not one person staying at home taking care of it. Now both people are out. And then you come home and it's a mess. And you're like, whose responsibility is this? Because there used to be an understanding of it's kind of all of our responsibility to care for this. And then we're left going, I don't know how to take care of my dishes and make my bed and do all this stuff. And for me, it's just a daily discipline of making myself do things when I don't want to. I don't want to make my bed in the morning. But my mom, you made the bed every morning. There was not Sunday was the only day that she did not make her bed in the morning. And so I just felt like a slob when my bed was not made. So that was drilled into me. So I know, like in the morning, make the bed.
Make the bed.
Andrew didn't grow up I don't think he made his bed. I'm pretty confident he didn't make his bed.
I didn't make my bed growing up.
Yeah, he didn't make his bed. And so... Also, he's still in it whenever I'm trying to make it.
Tuck it in.
There's so many times where I'm like, you got to get out. I got to make this bed. And you've slept long enough. It's time for you to get out. So there was a time when I didn't, because it's like the melding of two different standards of cleaning and what a house should look like, or, what your life should look like.
Yeah.
And he was not a bed maker. And then I realize I get really stressed out when I go into my bedroom and my bed's not made and there's stuff on the floor. I need it to be clean.
Together.
I need it to be together.
Well, and I think it's interesting how like we've said in marriage, just naturally you seem to be opposite of what your spouse wants for your home or for dinner or whatever it may be. But I think even because Micah and I both have different priorities when it comes to cleaning, because I too am now a person, when I get up, I make my bed. Micah doesn't feel that way. He argues it's because I add too many pillows and he doesn't understand where they all go, and he's stressed about how many items go on the bed and where do they go. And when I leave town, he asks me to make the bed before I go out of town, and he takes a picture of it. And then he tries to put it back together when I come back home, because I know he's not making it every day when I'm gone. But I appreciate that he does it when I come home, even if I'm like, well, you did not fluff those pillows.
Are you kidding?
Are you kidding me?
Are you crazy?
I think for me, the point where it started being like, okay, put the dishes, do the things, clean the kitchen at night, wasn't so much out of I'm doing this for... so-and-so's coming, my mom's coming to my house tomorrow, even though I do those things. Like, if my mom's coming over, I'm like, I better vacuum really quick. I
better wipe all my baseboards down right now.
Even though my mom is not going to walk in and go, well, you're not my daughter anymore. Your house, there's crumbs, there's this. She's not going to do that. But I think it was when it finally got to the point that I was like, if I am too busy to care for the place where we lay our heads every single night, for the most part, but the place that is our home, the place that for me it's so important to have, not together to show that I'm perfect or to prove a point to anybody, but I started learning if this is the place where I can create peace and comfort, I want to honor that, not to prove a point, not to have a prettier post on Instagram, not to impress my friends or my family, but to go this is the place where we can reset. This is the place where we could get inspired with new ideas, to feel safe and comfortable. I want to honor that. And if we're able to, in my head, I'm like, if I'm able to make this space in my home, I will be more refreshed when I go out to do something and when I come back in to revisit it again.
You can feel when you walk into someone's home if it's a peaceful environment. If it's got, and it's not just they've got those throw pillows. That's what makes it peaceful.
No.
But it's an atmosphere that you create. You can tell. I've had people say they enjoy coming to our house because it's cozy. And I'm like, that's the vibe. That's the exact vibe I'm trying to do.
I was so going for cozy vibes.
I was really trying to make you cozy. But because my mom was a great homemaker, house, just incredibly orderly. When I would go to someone else's house who wasn't, not that I'm judging, but it was I'm a little bit judging.
Oh my gosh.
It was like, oh, everybody doesn't live the way that we do.
Yeah.
But also just noticing, oh, wow, I feel a little scattered.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed how physical clutter contributes to mental clutter and feeling scattered. And I, for one, don't want my kids to feel like we're always hurried. There's always stuff.
Well, and I think
we can't find anything. I'm yelling for you to find your shoes, and we can't find them because we don't even know where they are.
Right.
Just honoring. I feel like having order also honors my time because then when I need something, I can find it.
Well, and this goes back to even like what we said. This is not because I'm judging my friends who don't do the things that I do, or I'm judging the people who, because also I'm like, I have some friends who have 6 kids.
It's a lot of children.
That's a lot of children. It's a lot of life going on in that house. A lot of little feet, a lot of big feet, running around, causing a mess. But they have boundaries and priorities in the sense of they recognize, it's not always about, that doesn't mean that you're robbing your kids of childhood, or it shouldn't go to the point, in my opinion, to where it's taking peace because you're a drill sergeant at home trying to command orders and everyone needs to fall in line because this is how we're going to live our life. Yeah. But I think just for me, it's that, like you said, it's recognizing like there's a bigger prize to be won here than just, I had the cleanest house of my friends and I'm the best, I'm better than you, I'm this. Like, it's not to measure up to something like that, but it's just like, if you are a type of person who feels like you can't get a hold of anything and feels like you're constantly, like you said, running out the door, or feel scatterbrained, and you may have a lot of kids, you may have no kids, but it's like, maybe it's not so much the problems that are going on like at work or, wherever you're going during the day, but maybe it's just more of like, again, it's funny how it keeps coming up that maybe I need to look at myself and go, what am I not taking care of? Not so much they make me feel like my home's never good enough for them. Yes.
Yeah. And everyone has a different standard. You might be okay with footprints on your floor. Yeah. It might not bother you for whatever reason. It just sets my teeth on edge. I can't stand it. I was watching 1,000 Pound Sisters.
Of course you were.
They're hilarious. It's a great show. Anyway, one of the sisters, the one who, she ended up having weight loss, Amy. She had weight loss surgery.
Amy.
Her name is Amy. And she ended up being able to have a baby. Aww. And she and her husband live in a duplex they share with the other sister, Tammy. Tammy and Amy. She hired professional organizers. So their house is bitty. Like her baby's crib was in the kitchen living room because they didn't have, I think it was like 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
And she has these professional organizers come over and she talks about why she wants to do this. And as they're cleaning, they found a dead mouse in her kitchen up high. And it does not matter who you are. It's embarrassing. Even if if you've got a really clean house. I find an occasional dead roach just in a random corner sometimes, and it makes me go, oh my gosh, my house is infested. This is just it's embarrassing to find anything. Oh my gosh, that dust. I swear I clean every day.
Yeah.
But she found a dead mouse. Well, then you start thinking, I have a baby. There's mice running around where I keep my baby's food. His crib is just right over there. And she just breaks down.
Oh,
I felt so bad for her. And she's talking about how she grew up in a home with hoarders. Nobody taught her how to clean. She's gotten made fun of because in her videos you can see bugs crawling up her wall. And the irony is when she said that, a bug crawled up her wall. And she's just bawling. She does not want to have an unsafe. She wants to make a different life for her son, and she just doesn't know how to do it. And I just wanted to leap through the television screen and just hug her and say, these are things that you can learn.
Yeah.
You are not destined to, you're not beholden to the way that you were raised. If that's not what you want, you can change and you can learn. And it's step by step. And we're just going to start with throwing away the stuff we don't need today. And just taking things step by step. So you talked about you have a day that you clean. Today when I was cleaning, I realized I have like a 2-day on Thursdays and Sundays. Those are my days to like go through and really do my floors and just like re-tidy. Sunday's nice because I'm freshening up for the week. Thursday is great because it's freshening up for the weekend. And I found like if I know, okay, that's coming and I can prep for it, there's peace.
You have some peace.
I got some peace.
All I'm saying is we have taken the time over a period of time. I don't know when we started doing it, but I think that in both of us, we were like, I think we're on to something in the sense of I'm not who I once was when it comes to
I'm not as good as I once was.
I'm as good once as I ever was. Oh, that was good. That was true music to people's ears. Do we need to
stop right now? And I'm kidding.
All that to say, though, we have a little something up our sleeves.
We want to be there with you in this because I'm looking around at my home. We've been inside for the long winter. And there are some nooks and crannies that need to be, that have not seen the light of day. That it's time to do there are some things I do every week, and then there's some things that I only do like once or twice a year.
And let's be honest, there's some things I've probably never done. Okay?
Andrew vacuumed the little vent underneath our refrigerator last night.
That's a good one.
Dot had shoved magnets under the refrigerator, and he had watched a video, something about how you need to service your refrigerator and clean some of the parts, and he just pulled, and it was disgusting. And I'm just going, what else have we not touched since we moved in? Because it's just out of sight, out of mind.
All that to say, we've got something up our sleeves. We have been working on a challenge, and first and foremost for each other, but we've learned that things are better when you have friends doing it with you. And so we are extending our challenge to you.
So we are going to have prompts for the next few weeks and we're not giving you huge tasks.
No.
Small tasks.
Let's just start.
Bite-sized.
We're all beginners right now.
Yes. We've never seen a broom before. That's where we're all at.
A brum?
Did I say a brum?
No, I'm...
Oh. Are you making a joke?
It went well. Anyways.
It was really good.
Anyways, we're beginners, clearly.
So the first challenge this week is just pick a closet. Pick a closet, any closet. Go through, take everything out. Look at what you got. Be honest with yourself. Are you really going to wear those jeans again?
Also, let's throw away the clothes that are someday clothes. I mean, if you're the type of person who it really motivates you because you have this one pair of pants, that's fine.
I mean, I did get back into my pants because I was motivated by it. So.
That's great. I, on the other hand, was not, and it was more rewarding for me to purchase new pants
to free yourself,
to celebrate, but to free myself and to free up the physical space. Mm-hmm. But my closet is out of hand right now. All that to say, we want you to join our Facebook group.
Yes.
You can find the link in our Instagram bio or on our website. In the
description of this video if you're watching on YouTube.
Yes, we'll add the link everywhere, but we want you to join the group because we are going to be sharing photos of what we find in our closets and also just sharing our progress. So we want you guys to join in with us and join in on the challenge, and then we'll be posting updates and we're going to do this thing.
If you find something really crazy in your closet, please take a picture.
We need to see it.
Please take a picture and send it to us. We are also over this process. I don't know how long we're going to be going with this. A few weeks because we got a lot of places.
A few weeks. We've got some things to do.
We're going to be doing some giveaways too. So all of that is happening on the Facebook group. And
so you want to join it?
If maybe, so you want to join.
And, you're going to get some behind the scenes photos. You are not ready.
It's just crazy how quickly things deteriorate if you don't take care of them.
And all I'm saying is, Sally's got some stuff in her closet, and we all need to have a serious conversation about it. And that's all I'm going to say.
I think Holly might have an actual skeleton in her closet.
So be sure to join that link. We'll add it in our show notes as well. So join the group. Don't be scared.
Have we said enough?
Don't be intimidated. Join. We're all starting out. We're all starting from the bottom. Okay.
We're all in this
I know that dance if you want me to do it. I used to practice in my room. That's good.
Wildcats.
Yeah, they really got it going on. Everybody. Okay. That's enough.
Bonus content. If you join the Facebook group, maybe Holly will do that dance.
Maybe I'll do the dance for you.
That would be awesome. All right. And we'll see you next week.
And as always, be sure to...
I don't know what
did I catch you off guard?
Yes, you did.
No, we just want to make sure if this resonated with you, or if you're like, there's something to these girls that I gotta stay in touch.
If you're like,
I've
got a friend who really needs to clean out her closet, go ahead and send him this episode.
Send him the episode, but more importantly, we want you to subscribe to the podcast, follow along online, and leave us a review. Hit those stars, and just
all 5 of them.
All 5 of them. We don't want nothing less. But stay in touch with us, and we will see you next time.
See ya.